5 red lights in Baku when they go out will be underway on the streets of the Azerbaijani capital, and it's a good reaction time for Alex Albon. Can he pressure his mate down into turn number 1? No, he can't. That's deep from Louis Delatraz to hand the position to Esteban Gutierrez, and of course there are cars absolutely everywhere. This is Baku, for goodness sake. You knew that was coming, but it's Russell, Albon, Gutierrez, the top 3. Delatraz went deep to lose a position, and they are the top 4 with Lando Norris in 5th, Pietro Fittipaldi 6th, then Perez gaining a hatful of places due to the chaos, Latifi in 8th, Anthony Davidson 9th, Oscar Piastri taking P10, and can Albon do anything about the dominant form of the Williams in front? It's Russell versus Albon at the head of the field. Anthony Davidson still can't get past Ben. He's still looking at the back of the McLaren's rear wing, so frustration for the driver who does a lot of sim work for Mercedes, former Formula 1 driver as well, with 24 F1 races to his name. But right now, the content creator showing him the way around this circuit, and Jimmy Broadbent 2.5 seconds behind, but running in the top 10. 3-second time penalty for Ben Daly there. So those positions in reality switch round. We go on board with the race leader, lap number 8. It's all gone to plan so far. Time for a change of tyre.
There's the mediums.
So he's gone a different way to Alex Albon. Now the strategy hasn't always paid off for the Thai driver in the last couple of weeks, but it looks like it's paying off there. He's closer than he was, but he's not able right now to, well, it's the maintained lead for the driver we're on board with. George Russell doing enough on the in-laps, and he will hope to do more of the same, and he's got the softer compounded tyre. Tell you what I love to see, I know you're meant to be unbiased, but given the situation the team's in at the moment, Williams 1-2. It's just like the late 90s right now, domination from the blue and white cars. Driver who is very familiar with sim racing is Lando Norris, who's going past Anthony Davidson. Nice move for him, a driver who's been testing a Formula 3 car. He's been go-karting, and he's using that move as yet more preparation as we build up to the return of Formula 1.
And that is going to be a little bit of a pain for Lando Norris, that Anthony Davidson takes the position back into turn 1. He hasn't stopped yet on those medium compounded tyres, so Lando has to make the move again.
That will be hugely frustrating for Lando Norris, but he'll take a deep breath, he'll go again. We ride on board with the British driver, heading into his 2nd season of Formula 1, and trying to put the move back last of the late breakers, and finds a way through. So back up to P4.
Alex isn't dropping away as much as I hoped on that hard.
Yeah, we need to push now. We need to push.
Oh, spicy. Okay,
so
like
he's not as comfortable as it might appear right now. We haven't seen the dramatic gaps between tyre compounds in the same way that we would in real life. Now, we saw that earlier in the F2 race. It was slightly more pronounced around here. Will that give a chance for Alex Albon later on? Pietro Fittipaldi not too far away from Anthony Davidson right now. So Pietro Fittipaldi, who took pole by riding the rails around that final sector in Monaco.
We don't talk about that, Alex.
No, we don't. It's fine.
It didn't happen.
No. I'll tell you what did happen. That pass on Anthony Davidson, and up to P5 with the use of DRS. So he moves forward again, and Anthony Davidson doing his best to clobber the wall. No damage, though, so we'll get away with it.
Alex, continue. Push hard, keep it consistent. Like, literally just focus.
Well, easier said than done, I suppose. Push harder, keep it consistent. So clearly...
Push hard, keep it consistent, close down to George, pass George, win the race.
Alex didn't know these things until he was told them on the radio. It's interesting, though, that clearly Williams and George Russell, they're not as comfortable as it may seem. 4 seconds gap, but as I mentioned before, Alex Albon on the hard tyres, George Russell on the mediums. So clearly they wanted to push early in the stint, did George Russell, but he hasn't got the gap maybe that they're comfortable with.
We are understandably looking at the battle for P5 though, on board with the Renault. Part of the driver academy. It's gone very well in the virtual world today. He's about to go even better, moving up to 5th position. Oscar Piastri having the time of his life around this circuit. He's got the move done, he's picked his braking spot, and 5th place belongs to him as long as he can get the exits over the next couple of corners where he needs them to be. Fittipaldi knows he needs to fight back absolutely immediately, and he'll try to do so with DRS.
Here we go then. Goes very defensive indeed, trying to break the toe, and Fittipaldi, if he's last of the late breakers, oh, that's going to be very close indeed.
One of those moves that makes you wince, but the outside line becomes the inside. Still nothing they can do, and Fittipaldi didn't have the belief to carry on around there. Maybe didn't have the grip either. Oscar Piastri does now have P5. The balance of power has shifted from Charles Leclerc to George Russell in the course of the events that we've run. Victory in Australia and China for Charles Leclerc, and then podiums.
Alex Albon, 3-second time penalty.
And that will do it. That will do it for the battle for the lead. So Charles Leclerc having a rare off day, and Alex Albon, who is unfortunately got that 3-second time penalty. And George Russell, dominant stuff from him in qualifying. Was he going to back it up? Well, he got through turn 1. That is always so important. Then he got out of DRS, a big early lap, got out of DRS range, and then from there he has just eased that gap further and further out of range of Albon, and so he is bringing it round the university, round the Opera House, and downhill to victory. Just the flat-out section to go after turn 16. So George Russell, who took a slightly fortuitous victory in Spain, followed it up with a dominant performance in Monaco. George Russell's about to make it 3 in a row at a track he absolutely loves. He's going to love it even more. He's going to beat Alexander Albon to the victory. George Russell can see the checkered flag, and the British driver crosses the line to win on the streets of Baku after dominating once again. He takes the championship lead heading into the final race of the season, and it's 3 in a row for George Russell.
Unbelievable drive from George Russell. He didn't like the fact that it was Albon versus Leclerc. Everybody was talking about those two. George went away, put in some practice, realised he is actually pretty damn quick, and he has 3 on the trot. Unbelievable drive. A Williams on the top step.